What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. It is October 15th, 3 p.m. Everything has been rallying today, kind of going up and down. But as a whole, we are hitting some brand new mile marks for crypto, or I say brand new compared to the last couple of weeks. And we've got some big reasons as to why that is. Is Bitcoin and crypto even better than the real estate market? We're going to talk about all of that and a whole lot more. But some different things about the show. Some of you are probably preparing and saying, wow, he's about to roll the intro like he always does. No intro today. You still need to smash the like. You still need to hit subscribe, but no intro today. And the reason why is because you might have noticed a different countdown to the show. I'm not going to play the intro, and that is because T-Shroom is no longer with us. Now, that sounds bad. He did not die. T-Shroom's internet is no longer with us. Even though we thought it was going to be with us. And so while T-Shroom remains better than he deserves, his internet is not. Why is that? I don't really know. Something to do with his landlord or changing a modem or something. I don't know. Either way, you're stuck with just me today. It's been a while. It's been a while since it was just me and you. No headphones. I don't need it. I'm not listening to anything. But there is no intro. Nothing of consequence. Here's what I'll say. I have no one to banter with here early in the show, so I'm bantering with you guys. We're going to do a lot of TA today. I don't think we're going to go a full hour. Don't think I have enough content to go a full hour. I always say that, and then you guys have some great questions. We end up going pretty long. But go ahead and start dropping super chats, coins you want to take a look at. I've got a couple of news stories I want to take a look at. Got some charts I want to take a look at. But I'll tell you, here in Georgia, you guys might notice a hoodie. Don't see Tim in a hoodie a lot recently, even though you used to see it a lot. Georgia's cooling off. I woke up this morning to a nice 41 degrees. Very, very nice. I love the cold weather. Let me know where the temperature is, where you are. Are you guys still hot out there? Are you cool? What are your thoughts about weather? We might read some of that. Let's go ahead and dive into our bubbles here. Let's see what is happening in crypto today. We got a couple of coins really up here in the last 24 hours. You got Turbo up 15.1%. Meow, so we got a couple memes, 13.8%. But then you got the gaming section. Beam is up 8.1. You have HBAR up 6.8. You got Phantom 7.9. But the rest of the space, more coins than not, are a little in the red over the last 24 hours. Why is that? Well, it's because everything really spiked here earlier this morning and then took a nice cool off. How far did we cool off? For that, it's time to jump over into the charts. I see some people in here talking about JASM, Turbo. We might take a look at some of these newer coins. I see someone asking for Say as well. I'll do the best I can to remember all of those as we continue to go on. But let's take a look at the head honcho Bitcoin technical analysis. Do you guys remember yesterday? We were on the show. We drew a nice blue box. We said, look for a larger move back up to this trailing level of resistance. This red line right here, you guys see it? That has been our falling level of resistance since all-time high back in March of 2024. We've put in these lower highs consistently, and even though more recent, since August 24th, we've actually put in higher highs and higher lows. It did look yesterday like we would get to this level and reject, and sure enough, we were right. We were right about that happening. That being said, how far can we drop to the downside? I'm going to talk about that and give you guys some levels to keep an eye on. Let's do this. Before I go too much further, we're going to get more Bitcoin TA. Don't really know how the show's going to go today. Usually I have a nice co-host who's going to banter back and forth with me. But I do still need you guys to smash the like buttons. We're going to do our normal thing. If we get to 600 likes before the end of the show, I will give somebody $50. In fact, you know what? I'm going to up the ante. 600 likes before the end of the show, and I will give someone $100, right? I want to give someone money. I want to get those likes up. What we'll do, though, is by the 30-minute mark. So you got 25 minutes. If we get to 300 likes by the 30-minute mark, I will give someone 25. Let's get both of them. Let's give some money away today. Smash the like button. Also, if you've not subscribed to the channel yet and you love crypto updates, you love the bros, whether you're a male bro or a female bro, everyone's bros here. People get to talk about that all the time in the comments. They're like, you know that part of your audience is females. Guess what? Here, everyone's a bro. Do not care about your gender. You're a bro here. Hit subscribe. Become a bro today. Hit subscribe so you don't miss anything we're putting out. Let's go back into it. Let's go in depth here on the Bitcoin technical analysis. Like we said, hit that mark that we just talked about. Let's find out what the oscillator is looking like, not just on the daily time frame, but let's look at the lower time frames as well. One of the things that I'm very bullish on, I think this is sustaining further bullish momentum. We talked about the buy signal flashing back here on October 2nd, it flashed actually right here, October 5th, right? What I mean by that is we had ourselves bullish reversal, bullish momentum, and positive money flow all here on the 4th, 5th of October. Had a small correction as we came back down, but now we're making those bigger moves to the upside. I see sustained upward movement. Some people are going to say, Tim, is this potentially bearish divergence? Well, it could be, depending on what happens over the next couple of days. But at the moment, just because we're setting higher highs and the oscillator is still at lower lows or lower highs, doesn't mean just yet we have bearish divergence. What we would need is a strong reversal with a major pullback. Even if that happens, though, let's just say we get a bearish divergence. Let's say we start to have some form of a pullback. What I would be watching for more likely would be coming over here towards the 4-hour chart where we have a major breaker block in play. We actually have two of them. 66,500 and about 64,000, give or take. 64,000 is going to be an interesting mark, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be one that I'm keeping an eye on. If you're wondering what these breaker blocks are, these are a part of the Lux Algo Premium package. They're part of the price action concepts. Ultimately, they're levels of former liquidity, former levels of, in this case, former resistance from back here in October on the 7th that we broke through. And now, rather than being a major selling position, it's a major buying position. That's why it's a yellow breaker block. We technically have one up here at 66 as well. But if we're going to see a sustained pullback, my guess would be we're going to come back down here towards this former resistance level. We're going to bounce on this level. That's not just a breaker block, but also you can see our 4-hour smart trail rapidly moving up into that zone. I do believe a sell signal more than likely from the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look. We're probably very close to getting here. Reversal's already in play. Bearish momentum is in play. And even though the money flow is still positive, that's a lot of excessive buyers. A lot of people bought today. We'll have an article about that here in just a couple of minutes. A lot of people bought here today. But when you see these excessive buyers in the space, more often than not, there's a little bit of a crash coming later. I'm not predicting a crash back down to 60,000, not predicting that 57 still on the table. While all those things are technically possible, I do believe another pullback back down here to the smart trail, to this breaker block, a move to 64,000 is right in line. And now I got to get rid of some things so you guys can see this more clearly. Right in line with a continuation of higher highs and higher lows in this bull market. In fact, we're starting a little bit of a trend here now with our support levels that I think could still be on the table here for another bounce back here around $64,000. So keep your eyes on this zone of support. Let's turn it blue. We'll always love my blue support levels right here. Keep an eye on a pullback down towards this level. Like I said, even though we're not flashing sell just yet, meaning we could continue to kind of punch back up towards 68,000, a pullback to 64, I do believe would be extremely healthy and a great place for you to buy a little more Bitcoin. Some of you guys are watching right now saying, man, this rally, I missed out. Well, you could / should have another opportunity back down here at 64,000. So keep an eye on that. Let's see what liquidity is doing here. Got to refresh the page a little bit. Got to get it to the right spot. So give me 1 second. But we're going to look at liquidity this afternoon and see if there's any key levels to keep an eye on. Would you look at that? There's actually two. One of them actually dropping a little bit below what I just said. But bright yellow sitting right here at 64.6. Then you also have some bright yellow sitting here around 63.450. That, I wonder if it has any confluence of other indicators. There's going to be, not really. I mean, that's maybe the bottom side of this bullish breaker block, but still something within that order block that we have as a strong level of support. So kind of seeing some backup information that a move down to clear out all of this liquidity right here, these yellow marks around at the lower point, 63.3 could still be on the table, but be of good cheer. Sound like I'm an angel or something coming to you guys because you're scared. Be of good cheer. We have liquidity to the upside, especially if you go out all the way to the 6-month chart where there's not a whole heck of a lot below us, but a whole lot up above us. We got some bright liquidity up at $72,000. What do these liquidity charts mean? We explain it all the time, but in case any of you are new, I want to make sure you understand and you're a part of the family. These are levels where there are current trades set up, but if these yellow hot zones are targeted, millions of dollars of trades are left off the table. This is a common strategy by traders to target these zones. In a nutshell, anything below us are longs or buy signals that if that price gets hit, all the buys are wiped out. They're taken off. It's very bearish. In this case, with all this liquidity up top, that means there's a lot of shorts. People are shorting Bitcoin. But if we hit 72,125, $833 million worth of shorts will be wiped out. That is extremely bullish. I told you guys the other day, I am personally thinking that the window for 70K is back on the table by this weekend. We need a little bit of a dip. We hit my resistance level we talked about. Let's cool back off, somewhere between 66 and 63.5, but then making its move back up to 70K. It very well might happen over the next little bit. And you know what? It's my show today. T-Shroom's not here. I could keep going with technical analysis, but why not go and get into some of that Bitcoin news while we're talking about Bitcoin, and then we'll get into some other charts here in just a couple of seconds. Let's talk about the news that is happening. Two big pieces of information coming out from Watcher.Guru today. That is one of my favorite Twitter news channels to follow. If you're not following them, go follow them right now at Watcher Guru. You also should follow me and T-Shroom on X as well. But just in, $820 billion Standard Chartered Bank says that Bitcoin could reach new all-time highs before the U.S. presidential election. We're going to talk more about that here in a second, but that kind of aligns with things that I've said here on the channel. It's a mixed bag. I think T-Shroom thinks that maybe a lot of that stuff happens after the election. Either way, we're 3 weeks away. Whether we hit it right before or right after, new all-time highs are coming. But I seem to be more aligned with Standard Charter. I think that new all-time high very well could happen before the presidential election. Let's keep moving on. Some other reasons why Bitcoin is going nuts today. Just in, total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume surpasses $2.1 billion for the second consecutive day. What does that mean? Very, very simple. People are buying Bitcoin. And they're buying via the Bitcoin ETF. My imagination would be that it's mostly the BlackRock one, right? It's the most popular Bitcoin spot ETF. Either way, what you need to know is things are cooking right now. Things are heating up. Again, we're in a bull trend when you look at the Bitcoin chart. If you hear me say this 1,000 times, I'll keep saying it. Higher highs and higher lows are a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, something we had not seen since way back in March of 2024. So a lot of positivity, but let's get into even more of a reason why you should be positive. Continuing the BlackRock talk again, they're probably a big part of the reason why we have such a large amount of inflows and volume from the Bitcoin ETFs. But BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, this morning we talked about his remarks about Ethereum and how massive Ethereum is going to be. Well, it turns out he also is really big today on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an asset class on its own. It will rise regardless of the next U.S. president. Let's pause right there. Before we get into the article, let's pause right there. Here on the Investing Bros channel, I think some people will listen, they'll watch. It's not impossible to kind of decipher where T-Shroom and I sit in terms of who we're probably going to be voting for here in about 3 weeks, right? And I'm not going to be a coward that denies who I'm going to vote for. The reason you don't hear me screaming it from the mountaintops and telling everybody you should be the same opinion I have is because I'm a big believer in individuality. You have your reasons to vote for who you want to vote for. I have my reasons for who I want to vote for. Some of us are aligned. Some of us are different. And you want to know what? If you're voting for the other candidate than I am, that is okay. You vote for who your conscience tells you to vote. That is your right as an American to vote for everyone. And that's between you, God, and that voting booth. And you're not going to catch a bit of disrespect from me if you do so. Now, I might disagree with you. I might even use my platform, this channel, to explain why I disagree with you. But the ultimate goal of the Investing Bros is not to promote a presidential candidate. It's not to get heavily involved with politics. Politics affect crypto, and for that reason, I have to discuss them. But I want you guys to know before I get into this, whoever you vote for, whoever you think is supposed to win, good for you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to disrespect you. That being said, respect me as well. When you guys hear me and T-Shroom talk about our views of how we think the world should work, respect should be going two ways. I'm giving it to you. please do me the courtesy of giving it to me as well. Let's get into what he's saying here. It's ultimately a take that I agree with. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. I think that Bitcoin is going to go up. I think crypto is going to go up no matter who wins. And this article kind of explains why. But at the end, I did a whole that preset, because there's a take at the end that we're going to have to kind of wrestle with. And it's one person saying that they think that Harris is the best candidate, and it's one person saying that Trump is the best candidate. I'll save that for you. Stay around. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. Where are we on with likes? 192. All right, guys, 15 minutes. Get to 300. I want to give someone $25. We had 100 and some odd likes we need. All right, let's get into the bolts and crannies of this article. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock. That's him, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you hadn't seen him. Good-looking guy. Better hair than Gary Gensler. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink recently commented that neither the presidency of Donald Trump nor Kamala Harris would significantly influence crypto prices. According to Fink, the rise of digital assets like Bitcoin is inevitable on a global scale, independent of political leadership. I'll comment on that here in a second. Fink expressed the perspective in recent discussions with institutional investors, highlighting the evolving perspective on digital assets. His remarks emphasizing that the real factors behind the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies are transparency, liquidity, and improved analytics. Let's pause right there. Let me say what I agree with. Let me say what I disagree with. First of all, I agree with him 100% that we will not have a major impact on crypto immediately. But I think there's a longer term impact. Not talking about the next 50 years. I think that no matter who wins president in the year 2024 doesn't have a major impact on where Bitcoin is in 2050. But I have a theory that depending on who wins the presidency, that will give us a little bit more of an indication as to where the top of the Bitcoin and crypto bull market would be. My personal opinion, I think that based off the policies and the sentiment of the overall economy, if Kamala Harris wins, Bitcoin will pump, but there's a chance we get an early top early in 2025, probably around April or May of 2025. Why is that? Because the policies she's going to put in place are going to continue to hurt our current debt problem. We can keep putting out numbers right now, right? We have low inflation from a data standpoint. We have relatively low unemployment from a data standpoint. But when you look at the national debt sitting at an all-time high, a crazy level, and the amount of spending that Kamala Harris and her policies are going to want to implement, this is simply a recipe to continue to add to that national debt, to cause the Fed to possibly go back into cutting rates because inflation's getting out of control, in which case either one of two things happens. Either A, they start raising rates again, inflation goes down, but the American people lose their jobs in bulk, and in that case, people can't invest in crypto, causing a recession. Or number two, they don't raise rates and inflation goes way out of control, in which case nobody has money to invest in crypto. They have to use every penny they have to buy the outrageously expensive food, outrageously expensive housing, name it. It'll get very, very expensive, right? So at the moment, my personal belief, what Harris is looking to do, the policies could cause an early recession and an early top to the crypto space. Bear markets will happen. Things will clean out. A bull market will resume years later. Not the end of the world, just detrimental for the short-term future of crypto. If Donald Trump wins, however, his policies will more than likely help not only continue to get people jobs, but keep inflation in check. I still think at some point we hit a recession, but there's a chance that recession holds off until the year 2027, and in which case we get an extended bull market. So while I agree with Larry Fink that in November, December, January, we should be seeing pumps in crypto no matter who wins, the question is what happens next year? How soon is the top of the bull market? That's what I believe is absolutely affected by who wins president. But let's keep moving on. Again, I gave you guys a small amount of my opinion. Let me know in the comments if for some reason you disagree. Keep it all respectful, though. If you guys want to disagree and argue with each other, that's fine. I love it. I love debate. But debate requires respect. Please use it. He noted that Bitcoin, now considered an asset class comparable to gold, represents a shift in how investors approach asset allocation. Before we move on here, I guess that's the last part of that section of the article. Somewhere in here, buried, I couldn't find it for the show, but it's all over Twitter. He talked about the similarities between Bitcoin and the mortgage housing market, the real estate market as a whole. And there's a real question right now. I've been wrestling with myself as I look at my investing journey. Should you be more heavily allocated into Bitcoin long-term or real estate? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But with some of the stuff Larry Fink is saying is he says that boom that we had, I think he's talking about back in the 60s in the housing market. He's saying what Bitcoin is looking like right now is looking very, very similar. I would love to see it. Some people are already saying that Bitcoin could have a higher market cap than the housing market in the next couple of years. Fact check me on this one, that the data I saw was that the housing market sitting right below $50 trillion. I believe we talked about this on yesterday's show. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to $50 trillion by next year. I'm not even saying it's going there by 2030. But when you start to look at 2040, 2045, I believe $50 trillion for Bitcoin is not only doable, it's probably highly likely. I would agree with the take that I think that Bitcoin at the moment is a better investment than real estate. But again, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let's continue with this article because it's got a lot going in. There's a tweet from Eric Buchanan kind of highlighting a lot of the stuff we just read. So I'm going to keep moving on. He was commenting on digital currencies, CBDCs specifically, central bank digital currencies. But he said, we're not really certain how that's going to go. But according to him, blockchain will continue to play a crucial role in the future of digital currency development, particularly when paired with artificial intelligence, AI. Fink argued that AI's integration with blockchain would significantly enhance data analytics, broadening the applicability and market reach of digital assets. This Saturday, we are going to have a special edition show where we talk about the top 50 ranked coins, what we think that coin market cap would look like at the end of the bull market. You do not want to miss it. But what Larry Fink said in this quote, I think will have a lot to do with that. Digital currencies in general, not just CBDCs or not just stable coins and not just Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are going to play a major role in how the world works. And depending on what coins work with institutions versus against them, those will have major impacts on how high coins can fly in this bull market. So this Saturday, you don't want to miss it. We're going to be telling you our prediction for the rankings of the top 50 altcoins by the end of the bull market. And this is actually a large part to do with that. Let's keep moving on, though. Again, a lot to do in this article. I told you earlier, we're going to get into the political opinions here. We got somebody saying that Kamala Harris is going to be the best crypto president. We have somebody saying that Donald Trump is going to be the best crypto president. Let's read their thoughts, who they are, and you guys tell me what you think. Here we go. Billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban. Let's zoom in here a little more. Mark Cuban said that if Kamala Harris were to become the next U.S. president, it would benefit crypto as he believes she has positioned herself as a more progressive in understanding the crypto markets than former President Donald Trump. Not a breaking news here. I think he's been kind of leaning this way here for a while. But Cuban claims that Harris has distanced herself from the current administration on crypto-related matters and contrasts her approach with Trump's focus on promoting specific tokens. Okay. Hold on that thought. We're going to get back to that in a second. Conversely, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson expressed that if Trump, as a Republican presidential candidate, were to become president, he would provide more support for the U.S. crypto industry than Vice President Kamala Harris. In a recent interview to CNBC during Token 2049 conference in Singapore, Hoskinson noted that any candidate actively engaging in crypto conferences or launching decentralized finance or DeFi projects would likely be more crypto-friendly than someone who appointed an SEC chair, Gary Gensler. Let's get into it. Again, I'm going to be kind of brief here. I don't want to go too crazy. Mark Cuban versus Charles Hoskinson. Who do you guys agree with here? Let me know in the comments down below. Cuban is a little off here. First of all, it's something that's very interesting to say that she differs dramatically with the current administration. She's the vice president. She is part of the current administration. And in all reality, let's not really confuse anyone here. Joe Biden is not making crucial decisions. If he's not fit to become the president of the United States in the next 4 years, and they thought he was too old, they're also not letting him make crucial decisions. He's also a big proponent of what Kamala's doing. So anything that Kamala really wants to get done, she has every bit and control to get that done right now. That would just be absolutely ludicrous of the Democratic Party as a whole to say, well, we want to switch from this candidate to this candidate, and we're going to hold off on all of our good policies until we get our second candidate. No, you want to get you want to get Harris elected right now? If her policies are so good and so pro crypto, so pro middle class, so pro you name it after the blank, why not go ahead and do it right now? On the other hand, is this potentially Cuban realizing he has no position with Donald Trump? Maybe he's vying. He's also said in the past he would be interested in being the head of the SEC. You got to take that with you got to take it with a grain of salt on what Cuban is saying here. I disagree with him, but he's entitled to his opinion, as all of you are as well. When it comes to Charles Hoskinson, I've been a very outspoken fan of Charles Hoskinson for plenty of reasons in the crypto space, but he's absolutely right here. He's absolutely right that even though I think that Donald Trump has a long way to go to fully understand crypto, I think I've seen some strides over the last couple of months, but we've ultimately seen him partner himself with people who are extremely pro crypto. And you can say anything you want about Donald Trump. There's actually a lot of legitimate things that you can complain about and say that he's a X amount of, you make a lot of claims about him. He listens to people in fields he has no information about. When he doesn't understand something, he defaults to his trusted officials. And in this case, with him surrounding himself with pro crypto officials and a class that he doesn't really understand yet, crypto space, that's a net benefit. That's a net awesome thing for crypto holders. On the other hand, while we're not really 100% certain what all of Kamala's policies would be pro or anti-crypto, we know the people she has been aligning with and who she's going after to be in her cabinet. People like Gary Gensler, at least that's the rumor that we are hearing, that nobody is denying. Gary Gensler would have a part in her cabinet to help corral some of these things. Gary Gensler, of course, is no friend to the crypto space. So it's one of those things. We hear Kamala saying, go crypto, go crypto. We hear Trump saying, go crypto, go crypto. I think the realistic thing to do is to look at who are they surrounding themselves with? Who are the people that are actually going to be making big decisions on crypto? Because clearly Kamala and Trump, neither one of them know what they're doing with crypto. Who are they surrounding themselves with in this? Sorry, guys, got to give the edge to Mr. Donald Trump. But let me know in the comments which president you think would be better for the markets. As a whole, all of this, going back even into the charts, is a super positive thing for the price of Bitcoin. If you hold Bitcoin right now and you're looking to make some gains, no matter who wins president, there's at least some short-term gains. And again, we could be seeing new all-time highs before the presidential election happens here in 3 weeks, at least according to Standard Charter. This is all very, very positive stuff. Let's check out, before we go back in news, the truth is I actually only have one more news article, so it's time to get into some other altcoins. Let's go into the altcoin of the man who we were just talking about, Mr. Charles Hoskinson, although technically it's not his coin anymore. Cardano is officially a fully decentralized coin. 100%. It is now being decided. Every major update, every major change happens in the voting community. But from a price action standpoint, what are we still looking at? On the major upside, we're still keeping an eye on in the next couple of weeks, a potential move back up towards 53 cents. But you have seen Cardano get a little boring here. On a minor time frame, what we're kind of watching is this small channel. I got to fix it here a little bit because it's not exactly perfect. Let's kind of dress this down. We've been in this small channel on Cardano now for multiple days, actually a week and some change, 2 weeks now. We're on the 14th. This started at the 1st. There's going to be a major breakout when this happens. And when it does, you're going to see Cardano either make a major move to the upside. And I say major, it's not going to be crazy major, but major move back up to 40 cents. Or we're going to see a drop back down over here to 30 cents. Either way, though, this sideways trading channel on Cardano is telling us a bigger move is coming. The question is, do we break resistance or do we break support? To decide what we're kind of thinking here, let's take a look at what we're looking at on the indicators. We got some major support and resistance at these same levels. However, we are currently under a buy signal with take profits to the upside up here towards 40 cents. We also, when we're looking at our oscillators, 4 hours not really giving us much to go with here. Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart's most recent signal has been a buy signal. What does that mean? Well, we have green reversal, bullish momentum, and we're working on positive money flow. We're waiting on that to come in, but the positive sign from the other oscillators, the MACD is crossing bullish here for the first time since back here on September 9th. The RSI, after coming down, is starting to make its way back up above the 50 line. We're still waiting for confirmation on both of these, but at the moment, Cardano absolutely is leaning in the bullish direction. The other thing you'll notice, this is very common when you're breaking out of a falling wedge pattern, which Cardano just did, is to pull back and to retest former resistance as support. Remember earlier when I said it'd be amazing for Bitcoin to pull back down to 64,000 and then rally? That's because anytime you have a resistance level, you break above it, coming back down and retesting it kind of solidifies that resistance no longer has any power. Well, in this case, Cardano needed to come back to the red line. It came back to 33 cents. We've now defended that level twice. In my personal opinion, I think that Cardano is ready to make a bigger move to the upside. And the target I have, again, around the election season, whether right before or right after, is Cardano makes its way back up towards 53 cents. Before I move on from Cardano, I do want people to know in the next couple of weeks, you will see me put out an updated Cardano price prediction. And we had a lot of Cardano enthusiasts on this channel, in this channel. I love Cardano. I want to preface for you guys, though, and prepare you so no one's shocked. After reevaluating and taking a look at some new updates and what's happening with Cardano and the rest of the crypto space, I have brought my price predictions down. I do realize that previous levels I talked about on this channel are a little too high for this bull market. Although, while Cardano is going to be very successful long-term still, in my opinion, we do need to temper our expectations for just how many gains we can make with Cardano. Some of you are going to love hearing that. Some of you hate hearing that. I ultimately, just so you guys know, I never make my price predictions or my technical analysis about what I think will make you guys happy. I wish I could. I really wish all of your hopes and dreams would come true about every coin that you ever have. The problem is that's just not how markets work. I'm not going to make decisions and predictions based off of what you want or what I want. I'm going to try my very hardest to take in as much information as possible, be as objective as possible, and tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. If that's something you love, good reason to go ahead and smash the like and hit subscribe. Where are we, by the way? With almost 700 people in here tuned in, 298. 298. We just hit 300, but it's 332. Crux, put a poll in chat. I'm going to let democracy make its course. Being 2 votes or 2 likes short of the target in technicality means we didn't get there. You guys vote fairly. Should we still give somebody $25 today for getting close to 300 likes before the 30-minute mark? Crux, if you can put that poll in chat, I will abide by the poll. Let's go ahead and dive deeper in here. Another one I want to take a look at is Chainlink, another friendly coin of the channel. This is one we have absolutely loved, been talking about for a very long time. I'm not going to lie to you and say that Chainlink has just been ripping out of control and it's amazing. But there's still a long way to go in this bull market. When it comes to Chainlink, we are still in a similar to Cardano. We were retesting that this level as well. I'm still extremely bullish on Chainlink, and I'll explain more about that here on Saturday. I will be putting out a Chainlink price prediction on Thursday. You're going to want to pay attention to that coming out Thursday morning. But at the moment, what do you need to know? Well, I told you we bounced off the former resistance level again here, turning it into support. We keep rejecting at $11.70. You can see here over the last couple of days, we've rallied up to that level, rejected now with a double top. What does Lux Algo say for Chainlink? Well, the good news is the daily smart trail now has become a major level of support. This, of course, was based off of a sell signal we got back here where we had the red reversal, we had the bearish momentum, and negative money flow bringing us down to that smart trail. But now our MACD is about to cross bullish again for the first time since back here on September 9th, September 10th area. RSI, I mean, this chart's just looking very similar to what Cardano's doing, and that price analysis still says with that take profit, we should be making a move up here towards $15. Then you start to ask the question, well, if the weekly chart turns bullish, how high can we get? For that, we're looking at targets over the next couple of months of making a move towards $30, but my eyes on this order block around 27. If you want to know where I think the end of the bull market price prediction is going to be for Chainlink, you got to watch our show. You got to watch my price prediction this Thursday, and then we'll talk even more about it on Saturday as well. So a lot of great content coming out this week. With that said, I'm by myself. I've been talking now for like 34 minutes straight. I'm going to get a drink of water, and we're going to do some chat engagement here, and then we'll get into my last story affecting SUI holders. It's not going to be great news. It's actually bad news for SUI holders, but we're going to address it. What is some of the questions you guys are asking at the moment? Let's engage with chat. All right. Poll is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. People saying T-Shroom. Yo, T-Shroom. Is T-Shroom in chat? T-Shroom is in chat. Ooh, his internet's fixed. Here's the problem, guys. T-Shroom's internet is fixed. That's great. The way I go live, I can't bring in a guest. I go live very simple. T-Shroom is our brains behind the production. And unfortunately, when I go live by myself, I don't even hold the capacity to bring him in. So he will be back tomorrow. I'm very glad his internet is back on. T-Shroom, I miss you deeply. It's always more fun to have a buddy on the channel with you to go back and forth. But where the show must go on. Retro Mike Tech said T-Shroom, no shows, and then shows up in chat. Hashtag sus. Oh, goodness. He's all right. Retro Mike, we're giving a pass on this one. Internet problems. It's all good. It's all good. Edwin G says, totally agree with you, Tim. Don't know which one you're referencing. I said a lot in the last 30 minutes, but I appreciate the support. Cas TA, Tia TA. We can do some Cas and Tia. Some Cas and Tia is good. JASM price analysis. We're going to add JASM to the list. We might kind of fill out that for the end of the show. I'm going to give it probably another 5 minutes or 4 minutes. So 3:40, we will address the poll and see is somebody getting $50 or $25, excuse me. But what you should know right now is you still have a lot of time to get us to 600 likes and somebody will win $100. Make sure to smash that like button. Let's get into the news on SUI, and then we'll look at some of those coins that you guys are asking for some technical analysis on. Let's go over here and take a look at what is happening. SUI Foundation denies $400 million insider sell-off amidst community backlash. I want to preface before we go too far in here. Let's take a look at the SUI chart. I might have to come back here. SUI currently is cooling off over the last 2 days, right? Bitcoin's been rallying. Altcoins, for the most part, have been rallying. SUI's cooling off pretty dramatically. We were in a great trade setup last night. We shorted SUI in our VIP trading group. If you want to be a part of that, check out the link down below for membership options. Great trade. We called for pullbacks on SUI well before anything bad came out. I still think that if you look at the daily chart, a pullback here to the smart trail, to the rising level of support around 183, 184 is still an area. $1.83, by the way, in case anyone's listening and can't see the charts. I still believe this is a realistic target for SUI to cool off to with a healthy correction and maintain long-term bullishness. That being said, is this article, is this FUD? And FUD doesn't mean fake information. FUD does not stand for fake uncertainty and doubt. It stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This article is FUD. Is it truthful? Maybe it is. But the point is, this article is causing some people to take some profit on SUI, to question if SUI is going to make it long-term. I just want to preface by saying the charts are extremely bullish, and this cool-off, while maybe affected by the article, is just a healthy, volatile movement of SUI. So I want to preface before we get into it with some good hopium for all of our SUI holders. Let's check out some details here. An on-chain investigation led by well-known crypto analyst Light fueled the controversy. He suggested that large transfers of SUI to Binance, OKX, and Bybit originated from wallets associated with the SUI Foundation. All right, so we got some accusations out here that the SUI Foundation is secretly behind the back of SUI holders selling off their holdings. They said they wouldn't. They list a couple of different accounts in here, but one key address, I'm not going to read those because it's unimportant for what we're doing here. Supposedly acting as a transit wallet has been used to transfer tokens in small, frequent transactions to another address. The investigation linked the latter address to major crypto exchanges like Binance, OKX, and Bybit. Here we have a big list of different transactions that happened. Meanwhile, the controversy surrounding SUI is not new in South Korea. In 2023, the SUI ecosystem faced scrutiny during a Korean National Assembly audit. The concerns were over opaque SUI token allocation management. Further complicating the situation, South Korean media outlet Block Media observed similar wallet activity in June. The report suggests that it was not an isolated event, noting that these wallets did not transfer tokens directly to prominent Korean exchange Upbit. The local report articulated that they were funneled through Binance, OKX, and BitThumb. Now, what's the importance of Binance, OKX, and BitThumb? I'm not going to really be able to tell you that's my area of expertise, know the significance here. But what you need to walk away is that there's accusations flying that Sui's foundation or employees at Sui are secretly liquidating Sui to profit off of, obviously, all the holders, even though they said they wouldn't, and that there's some weird things happening with wallets that have looked like former kind of weird things happening in South Korea. So while I'm not seeing this as being damning evidence, it's definitely intriguing, eye-opening that there's some fishiness happening when it comes to Sui sell-offs. That being said, if we move down to how Sui responded to it, in response to these allegations, the Sui Foundation issued a statement denying any involvement of its employees, insiders, or foundation members in the alleged $4 million sell-off, $400 million sell-off, excuse me. The foundation stated that neither its employees nor its partners, Mistin Labs, had sold tokens in violation of lockup agreements or the circulating supply schedule. The foundation believes that Light's reference is to the infrastructure partner, which holds tokens under a lockup schedule. According to the custodians, oversee all token lockups, and the partner in question is in full compliance with the lockup terms. However, the ongoing investigation and transparency of Sui's token distribution remains under close watch. Ultimately, I'm not seeing necessarily a lot of damning evidence, so it's too soon to absolutely say Sui is guilty here, but there is some fishiness, there is some weird things going on, so I look forward to seeing how this all plays out. In a nutshell, though, I'm going to go back to what I said before I even read the article. Sui has been on a tear here recently, rallying up to new highs this bull market of $2.36. Cool-offs were inevitable, whether you get your FUD story or not. This is simply a healthy part of the markets. Like I said, I am waiting for $1.84 to be purchasing more Sui. You guys tell me in the chat, where are you looking to buy and purchase some more Sui? Or are you thinking, man, this was it today? What do we get to? 205 was it. We need to go to the upside. Let me know how you guys think about that. That being said, let's check out our super chat, and then we'll get into some Q&A with requested technical analysis. Shizzy_OR. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. What do you guys think about Bitcoin runes? Do you think meme coins on Bitcoin like Dog go to the moon or $1 billion cat have potential, or any other Bitcoin rune projects? I've not done a whole heck of a lot of research here, Shizzy. So I'm going to remain kind of neutral here. Let me just say, can meme coins on Bitcoin work? Absolutely. Will they be, as productive as the Ethereum and the Solana and the, what's the more recent one? Things have been being built on, I think Sui's had some built on them as well. I don't know. I have some people that I really enjoy their opinions. I really trust their analysis that have said, I think that Dog, I've heard a lot of bullish things about how Dog works, but I want to be very transparent with you guys also. While I haven't researched these things in general, you're never going to find me being a big proponent of meme coins. You can make a lot of money in the meme world, but they don't follow a lot of the same rules necessarily as the rest of the crypto space. I believe certain coins out there like Dogecoin, like Shiba Inu, like even Pepe at this point, they've been around long enough and proven some stability with massive amounts of volume and massive amounts of wallets that you can make the argument, all right, legitimate or not, there's enough here to say that they'll follow some trading rules. But a lot of times these newer meme coins, if they've only been out for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they don't always follow the rules of the rules of technical analysis. They don't always follow the crypto markets tit for tat. And in that case, when it's hard to chart something, it's very hard for me to invest in it as well. And with projects like Dog and others being so brand new and almost no history to do technical analysis on, you're not going to find me throwing my hard-earned money into it when there's a lot of legitimate projects that will still make me some good money over the next year and some change. But there are people out there that make a lot of money. I think I see Crux in here in chat is saying he owns Dog. So it'll be very interesting to hear what his thoughts are about this. If you want to come back tomorrow morning, he will be live with T-Shroom at 9 a.m. He'll give you some of his thoughts about some of those meme coins. But for me, I'm gonna just kind of say, hey, I don't know here. But in short, memes on Bitcoin can do well. Just don't know which ones will, and I don't have any big thoughts on that here at this time. Let's get into, as we kind of get towards the end of the show, no factoid of the day today. Unfortunately, T-Shroom's not here, so neither is the elf, who is his personal assistant. Let's get in here. Cass was one of the requested technical analysis projects. We actually have a trade set up currently in our trading group. If you guys are interested in that trading group, again, check out the memberships down below. I will be doing Q&A at 4 o'clock with them right after the show. So that'll be very interesting. Caspa, we had told you for months now that there is a chance of a bigger move to the downside on Caspa before the rally continues. Why? Because we've been in a zone of higher highs and higher lows that were constricting. This is called a a rising wedge pattern. And even though we've hit a recent level of support back to the wick we had on August 5th, and there's a chance that Caspa ends up rallying by just simply following the rest of the crypto market, I want to make sure people are prepared that there's an absolute chance that Caspa, according to falling wedge pattern, could make a move down into this blue box in the realm of just below 11 cents. So starting off there with our Caspa TA, you need to be prepared that a larger downside move is absolutely on the table. This would put us down into the green section of our daily support from Lux Algo, the support cloud. If we were to go out to the weekly chart, I believe, yes, major order block and a weekly smart trail right in that zone. So it's something that absolutely should be on your table, is saying, hey, there's a chance, a very real chance, I could be buying Caspa at 11 cents or a little bit lower. That being said, when I come back over into the daily chart, we are seeing some positive signs from the daily chart's perspective. What am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at a MACD that looks like, after being overly extended, lower than we've seen anytime more recently. In fact, actually, that's the lowest the Caspa daily chart's MACD has been in its history. An overextended RSI and a beginning to a potential bullish buy signal on Caspa daily chart. Green reversal, positive momentum. Money flows negative at the moment, but if it scoops to the upside, that's going to be very positive. We very well could see Caspa get back above some major resistance, make its way up to the smart trail around 15 cents. But until we break back up, until we turn this smart trail blue, it's currently red, which means it's resistance, you got to be a little cautious of Caspa at the moment. This is very different than what we saw with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for example, flipped its daily smart trail here a couple of weeks ago, back at the end of September, and then has used the blue line as support. Caspa is very different. Caspa recently turned its blue support line into a red smart trail resistance. And so to feel bullish again, I really want to see that red smart trail reconquered and make larger moves to the upside. Caspa is, though, a coin I'm very, very bullish on. I have a high expectation for where it can go in this bull market. It's just, at the moment, you don't trade emotionally. You don't trade too crazy. You wait for confirmation to make sure something can play out differently, and Caspa ends up having a really rough go of it this bull market. So that's what we're kind of looking at the moment. These are good levels here. Not bad levels at 1263 if you want to add to your portfolio, but there still is an outside chance. If Bitcoin makes a move towards 64, it's not absolutely crazy to see Caspa make its way down towards 11 cents. Keep your eyes on it. Let's take a look at TIA. TA. People are asking for TIA. What is going on with TIA? Let's turn off the indicators. This is something we've been tracking on TIA, is a inverse head and shoulders pattern. Let's take a look right here. We got a nice left shoulder right in here. If I can draw it there correctly. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Almost a textbook looking inverse head and shoulders pattern. This would give us a price breakout prediction up to $11.47. What does Lux Algo say about this? Well, in the daily time frame, meaning the next couple of weeks, that's a little rich. I think a more realistic bullish prediction by maybe election season is going to be around $8.90. But it's the weekly chart that gives us that chance of saying, hey, by the end of the year, there's no clouds here whatsoever. But by the end of the year, I think we easily could be seeing TIA back up to these highs we had in June, back up here towards 1144. So that's what we're kind of watching here. Still have my drawing tool on. That's what we're watching here for TIA. Our oscillators kind of backing this up. Everything kind of moving back to the upside on the daily chart. Weekly chart here more recently, flashing by over the last couple of weeks. A lot of things heading back to the upside. Good reason to be bullish on TIA in the short term. Trigger for that one will be, let's get above this orange line. Let's go back to the daily chart. Let's get above this orange line. Let's get above that daily smart trail. And again, we're probably well on our way back up above $11 there for TIA. Last coin here before I end the technical analysis today. If you enjoy my technical analysis, you want to do more of it, join our VIP trading group, because I do this every single day in Discord. Let's see what we have going on with JASM. JASM is another coin I'm very bullish on. It's one of my higher risk picks for this bull market, but it's a coin that I really, really am excited about and what it's potentially going to do. Another ugly formation here, but textbook, if you have the textbook definition here, this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Well, we've been pointing out head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern. What is the textbook definition of an inverse head and shoulders pattern? There's probably a lot that you could come up with, but ultimately you need a dip on the left side, followed by a deeper dip called the head in the middle, followed after, close to a level neckline, a third dip that's not as low as the head. Well, by the book, ladies and gentlemen, this neckline, while it's kind of stretched out, isn't necessarily ridiculous. We have 3 different humps, with the middle one being the lowest dip. This is technically an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and this would suggest that the price action, when all things are said and done, maybe the next couple of months, could make its way back up here to 3.7 cents price we haven't seen since June of this year. So it's not really even that crazy to say that this is going. We just saw this price not that long ago here on JASM. That's what we're looking at for that price prediction. But also, it's not just the inverse head and shoulders pattern that we're bullish on. It's a falling wedge pattern, similar to other coins we've been looking at today, where we have seen the opening of this formation moved over to the last major support level. We actually should go back over here. This would suggest back up to this yellow line, around 3.3 cents is the target we have for the falling wedge pattern. This is more in line with an order block here on Lux Algo from the daily chart. Right there again with former resistance from back in July of 2024. We have some more recent buy signals coming in from actually, it's not quite a buy signal yet on Lux Algo, but the MACD and the RSI are flashing bullish signs. All we need to see is the money flow flip back positive. With this recent small amount of volatility, that's absolutely doable in the next couple of days. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow, and we got ourselves a nice move to the upside, at least up here to 2.3 cents. But again, my target is going to be closer up here to 3.2 to 3.7. What are our timelines here? Again, Bitcoin is 70K, means probably 2.3 cents. Bitcoin to new all-time highs, probably the next couple of weeks, 3.2 cents. And then maybe if Bitcoin starts to go even higher, maybe end of December, 3.7 cents is back on the table here for JASM before it continues into the bull market of 2025. That's going to wrap up my technical analysis for today. I know a lot of people had some other things. Ondo. Guess what? Lots of Ondo technical analysis being done in our private group. So I urge you guys, if you guys are learning and growing and getting some great stuff here on YouTube, imagine what you can have if you actually join the group, join the community. You get access to myself and several other expert traders who can help you analyze any market, any asset you want to see, help you understand how to trade, how to invest, and make yourself a lot of money in this bull market. That's what our membership options are all about. Our poll, I asked you guys for you to decide, should we give somebody $25 today for being 2 likes short of the 300 likes by 30-minute goal we set? 63% of you saying yes, 37% saying no, a deal is a deal. I told you I would abide by democracy. We are going to choose one person to give $25 to receive that money. Here's what I'll say. You have to join our Discord. The good news, though, is that there's a free level. While there's paid levels for you to go deeper with us, there is a free level on Discord that you guys can get. And I'll tell you this, actually, I'm going to choose someone here, but you got to go into Discord, comment at T-Shroom to find out or to get set up so you can receive your $25. Let's do a random scrolling here. I don't have time to do necessarily a wheel or anything, but the lucky winner of $25 is going to be George Martinez. George Martinez is today's winner. George, make sure you join the Discord and go at symbol T-Shroom to get your $25, your winnings. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We are not anywhere close to the $600 like. That was a goal. What are we at right now? 465. 465. That's good. It's very, very good. but not quite 600. Guys, go ahead and smash the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe. A little bit of a shorter show today, but it's just me today. T-Shirt will be back tomorrow. He'll be back with Crux early in the morning, 9 a.m. Do not miss it. VIP traders, I'll see you here very shortly in our Q&A. The rest of you, see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Adios. Let's see. I got to roll the outro, and boom.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got your word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.